Hey, Emily, have you learned your lesson yet?
Lesson? What are you talking about?
Playing dumb won't help. You know exactly what I mean.
I honestly don't. Today is my first day back from maternity leave, and I've barely had time to settle in.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Your time off.
My maternity leave? That's a standard company benefit.
A benefit that no one in my department has ever taken advantage of before. Do you realize how much trouble you've caused?
I wasn't aware that using an approved company policy would cause trouble. I followed all the proper procedures.
How does it feel? Pretty uncomfortable at the office now, isn't it?
Everyone has been a bit distant, but I assumed they're just busy. What's going on?
They're showing you how they feel about your absence. Actions have consequences, Emily.
Are you saying people are deliberately avoiding me? That seems unprofessional.
That's your punishment.
Punishment? For what? Having a child?
For abandoning your responsibilities, for making everyone else pick up your slack.
I didn't abandon anything. I coordinated with the team before I left to ensure coverage.
You think a few handover documents make up for months of absence? The team had to redistribute your entire workload. Better accept it and reflect on what you did.
I prepared a detailed handover documents before I left. I even checked emails during my leave to ensure nothing fell through the cracks.
Not good enough. A real team player wouldn't have left in the first place.
Are you suggesting women should choose between having children and having careers? That's not how modern workplaces function.
I'm suggesting that dedicated employees find ways to minimize their impact on the team. You chose the most disruptive option possible. You don't want to get fired, do ya?
Are you threatening me? Taking maternity leave is a protected right.
Protected by what? Paper policies that don't consider the real-world impact on your colleagues?
Protected by law and company policy. Henry himself approved my leave request.
Rights. All you people think about are your rights without considering your obligations to the company.
My obligations to the company don't include sacrificing my family. That's not part of any employment contract I've signed.
Your obligation is to be a reliable team member. You failed at that the moment you prioritized personal matters over professional responsibilities.
I seriously have no idea what you're talking about. I've noticed something strange with how people are acting in the department, but I can't think of anything I need to apologize for.
You're still gonna act like that even now?
Act like what? I'm genuinely confused by this reception after my return.
Like you've done nothing wrong. Like you could just waltz back in here after months of absence and expect everything to be normal.
I expected a professional environment where approved leave doesn't result in hostility, yes.
That shows how disconnected you are from workplace realities. Actions have consequences. Taking maternity leave, going on leave whenever you want, causing problems for everyone, and then saying you have nothing to apologize for.
I didn't go on leave whenever I wanted. I followed company protocol, submitted the paperwork months in advance, and got approval.
You notified us. You didn't ask permission. There's a difference between what you can do and what you should do.
The company has these policies precisely because they want to support employees who have children. That's why they exist.
Paperwork doesn't make up for the burden you placed on everyone else.
I'm sorry if my absence created challenges, but that doesn't justify the cold reception I'm receiving now.
You're unbelievable.
Wait, is that what you're angry about? Maternity leave is a legitimate employee right. Henry approved it, and it's clearly stated in the company policy.
Listen, nobody has ever used that system before.
That's not true. Sarah from accounting took maternity leave last year.
Different department doesn't count.
How does it not count? It's the same company policy.
My department has certain standards that accounting doesn't. We rely on consistency and reliability. When women get pregnant, they all just quit.
That's a terrible expectation. Why should women have to choose between having a family and their career?
Because that's how it works in the real world. You can't have everything.
That's an outdated perspective. Many companies now recognize that supporting employees through major life events results in better retention and loyalty.
Those companies aren't competing in our industry. We need people who are 100% committed. Normal people don't try to stay at the company.
That's outdated thinking. Many successful companies support working parents now.
Those companies are making a mistake. They're reducing their competitive edge to accommodate personal choices.
Research shows that companies with family-friendly policies actually perform better in the long run. They retain talent and reduce turnover costs.
Stop making excuses.
These aren't excuses. I'm explaining how modern workplaces function.
You just wanted time off.
Do you think caring for a newborn is time off? I was up every 2 hours around the clock for months.
That was your choice. Don't expect special treatment because of your personal decisions.
It's not special treatment to use a benefit that applies to all employees. That's equality, not preference.
Glad you enjoyed your vacation.
It wasn't a vacation. I was recovering from childbirth and caring for my baby. That's incredibly difficult work.
If it's so difficult, maybe you should have stayed home permanently. That's what committed mothers do.
Committed mothers do what's best for their families, which often includes maintaining their careers and financial independence.
Too bad you lost everyone's trust.
Wait, did you tell the other employees not to speak to me?
What are you talking about? It's only natural that nobody wants to talk to an employee who took such a long leave.
There's nothing natural about the entire department suddenly freezing me out on my first day back.
Perhaps you're just feeling guilty and projecting that onto others. They're simply responding to your lack of commitment.
So you did instruct them to ignore me. That's workplace harassment.
Don't throw around legal terms you don't understand. Nobody is harassing you.
Deliberately isolating an employee is textbook hostile work environment.
You lawyers are all the same, always looking for something to sue over rather than taking responsibility.
I'm not a lawyer, but I am aware of my rights as an employee. What you're doing isn't just unethical, it's potentially illegal.
You're the only one who still thinks like that in this day and age.
Like what? That employees have rights? That parental leave is important?
That you can abandon your post for months and face no consequences.
I used an approved company policy. That's not abandonment.
Call it whatever makes you feel better. The rest of us call it what it is, shirking responsibility.
I simply used a company policy. I don't deserve this criticism.
Wow, you're disgusting.
Excuse me?
Acting entitled to special treatment just because you decided to have a kid.
Using a company-wide policy isn't special treatment. It's available to everyone under the same circumstances.
Not everyone takes advantage of every policy they can. Some people have work ethic and loyalty. People like you are what's wrong with society.
Look who's talking. If all women quit after having children, society would collapse.
Society managed fine before all these accommodations came along.
You mean when women were forced out of the workforce? That wasn't fine for half the population.
It was fine for companies that could count on their employees showing up and doing their jobs.
Companies benefit from diversity and experience. Pushing out parents means losing valuable talent and perspectives.
Shut up! A woman shouldn't talk back to her boss like that!
My gender has nothing to do with my right to be treated fairly in the workplace.
Your gender has everything to do with why you think you deserve special treatment! Men don't abandon their responsibilities for months at a time!
Paternity leave exists for the same reason. Many fathers in this company have taken it.
First you slack off, then you talk back to your supervisor? Outrageous!
Taking approved leave is not slacking off, and I'm defending myself against unfair treatment.
You call it defending, I call it insubordination! You seem to have forgotten the chain of command during your absence.
Respect is earned, not automatically granted by title. Your behavior isn't deserving of respect.
That's it, I've had it with you!
What does that mean?
It means you clearly don't understand your place here!
My place is as a valued employee who contributes to this company, not someone to be bullied or intimidated.
I want you to quit!
I'm not quitting. I've done nothing wrong.
Your continued presence is disrupting team dynamics. The professional thing would be to recognize that and step aside.
The disruption comes from your behavior, not mine. I won't be pushed out for using a legitimate company benefit.
The company is better off without women like you!
Women like me? Competent professionals who happen to be mothers?
Women who put their personal lives ahead of their professional responsibilities and then cry discrimination when held accountable!
There's no conflict between being a parent and being professional. Millions of working parents prove that every day.
You're fired! Fired!
You don't have the authority to fire me.
As your direct supervisor, I absolutely do!
No, you don't. HR policy states only department heads and above can terminate employment, and even then, it requires documentation and cause.
Then I'll build the case. Documentation of your poor performance starts today!
Good luck with that. My performance reviews have been exemplary since I started here.
Then quit voluntarily!
I will not be intimidated into quitting a job I'm good at.
You're making a mistake. I can make your life very difficult here.
Threats like that only strengthen my resolve to stay and address this properly through company channels.
I don't even want to see your face. Goodbye!
This isn't over. I need to speak with Henry about this.
Sorry about that. I heard you called earlier. I can text for a bit now. What's going on?
I'm so sorry to bother you, sir. I know you're traveling and busy, but there's something I really need to tell you.
No need to apologize. What's happening?
It's about my return from maternity leave. I'm facing some serious issues with Mr. Middleton.
Mark? What kind of issues?
When I arrived this morning, everyone was avoiding me. Later, I discovered he had instructed the entire department to ignore me.
That's completely unacceptable! What was his justification?
He said it was punishment for taking maternity leave. He called it slacking off and insisted I should have quit instead of taking leave.
I see. So Mark has been doing that kind of thing? He was already against female employees taking leave.
Yes. He was complaining before my leave started, but I never imagined he'd get everyone to ignore me.
I've had concerns about his management style for some time. Has this been going on since you returned?
Yes, it started immediately. When I arrived this morning, I noticed something was off. No one would make eye contact with me.
Has he made any specific comments about your maternity leave?
He told me I abandoned my responsibilities and that I should have quit instead of taking leave. He called it a vacation.
Did he say anything else? I need to understand the full situation.
He told me I should be grateful he's only having people ignore me. He also said I've lost everyone's trust and that I should quit.
Did he threaten your position directly?
Yes, he actually said you're fired at one point, though when I pointed out he doesn't have that authority, he backed down to pressuring me to quit voluntarily.
That's completely inappropriate! Did anyone else witness these conversations?
Most were via text or when we were alone, but a few colleagues may have overheard his comments in the break room about how women should quit if they have children.
Completely childish behavior! Emily, you've done nothing wrong! Don't worry about it!
Thank you for saying that, sir. It means a lot.
Your maternity leave was fully approved and supported by company policy. Mark has no grounds for this behavior.
I appreciate your support. It's been a difficult day trying to readjust while being treated this way.
I imagine it must be particularly challenging after being away. How are you holding up otherwise?
I'm not worried about myself. I feel bad for the other employees. They're ignoring me, but their faces look so apologetic.
What do you mean?
A few have slipped me notes apologizing, saying they don't agree with Mark but are afraid to speak up.
Can you share any specifics about these notes? It would help me understand the extent of the situation.
One note said, "Sorry about this. Mark threatened a negative performance review if anyone talks to you." Another said, "We don't agree with him, but we're afraid to lose our jobs."
I understand. They probably don't want to make an enemy of Mark.
Yes, several colleagues have secretly apologized to me, but this situation isn't healthy for the company if it continues.
You're absolutely right. Has he shown this behavior toward other employees before?
I've heard rumors, but nothing concrete. There was another woman who took a short medical leave last year, and she left the company shortly after returning.
Has this affected your ability to work on your projects?
So far, I've been trying to push through it, but it's difficult when no one will collaborate with me or even acknowledge my questions in meetings.
That's unacceptable! No one should have to work in those conditions!
I've tried reaching out to team members via email instead, but responses have been minimal and purely technical.
I can't let this situation continue. I'll return to the office tomorrow.
What? But I thought your business trip was supposed to last until tomorrow.
Yes, but we've made good progress today, and this situation takes priority. No employee should be subjected to this kind of treatment. Is there anything else I should know before I return?
Just that Mark seems to genuinely believe that women should quit their jobs if they have children. He made several comments to that effect.
That kind of antiquated thinking has no place in our company. Thank you for bringing this to my attention.
I was hesitant to escalate this, but I didn't see another option. It's affecting the whole department.
You did exactly the right thing. This is precisely the kind of situation I need to know about. I should be at the office before everyone arrives, and I'll talk to Mark then.
I understand. Should I let the others know?
Wait! Don't tell anyone! If he knows I'm coming back, he'll be on his best behavior. I want to catch him in the act, so please keep this between us.
I see. That makes sense. I won't say anything.
Good. I'll observe the situation firsthand.
And what should I do tomorrow? Continue as if nothing has changed?
Yes, go about your work as normally as possible. I know it will be difficult, but it will help me see the full extent of the situation.
Understood. I'm counting on you.
Leave it to me. I won't tolerate this kind of behavior in our company. We've worked hard to create an inclusive environment.
Thank you. That means a lot to hear right now.
By the way, how's the project with Oceanic Industries going?
That's progressing well. I stayed in close contact with them during my leave, and I'm planning to do a presentation for the team soon.
I'm glad to hear that. They're a significant potential partner for us.
Yes, I've been working with their lead developer on the proposal. They're very interested in our approach.
When is the presentation scheduled?
I was planning to do it next week once I've had time to catch everyone up on the developments that occurred during my leave.
Good. I'm counting on you for that. I have faith in you.
Thank you for your support. It means everything right now. Yes, you can count on me.
Has Mark interfered with this project at all?
Not directly with the project, but his actions are making it difficult to collaborate with the team members I need for the presentation.
I see. That's another reason this needs to be addressed immediately.
I agree. The Oceanic project is too important to risk because of internal issues.
Try to hang in there until tomorrow. This situation will be resolved soon.
I will. Thank you again for taking this seriously.
Of course! Creating a respectful workplace isn't just the right thing to do, it's essential for our success as a company.
I appreciate that perspective. It's why I've always valued working here.
Get some rest tonight. Tomorrow will be better.
Thank you. I will. Mr. Middleton, what is the meaning of this?
Huh? What are you talking about?
Don't play dumb. My desk is gone. You did this, didn't you?
What desk? I don't know what you're talking about.
The desk I've been using for the past 3 years. The one that was here yesterday when I left.
Oh, that one. I thought it was just taking up space since you don't work here anymore.
That's ridiculous. I was sitting at that desk yesterday. All my personal items were there.
Were they? I didn't notice anything important.
I had important documents in there.
Oh, Dad, it's normal to clean up the desk of an employee who quit.
I didn't quit. I returned from maternity leave. We just had this conversation yesterday.
Same difference. You left, didn't ya? It's a waste of space and makes everyone uncomfortable.
How does my desk make anyone uncomfortable?
It sits there empty for months, then suddenly you expect to reclaim it like nothing happened?
It wasn't empty for months. Janet from facilities was using it temporarily while I was away, as we arranged before I left.
It reminds everyone that some people get special treatment around here. You should have cleaned it yourself.
I didn't need to clean it because I still work here. Where are my things?
In the dumpster where they belong. We needed the desk space for contributing team members.
You threw my personal belongings in the dumpster? That's destruction of property!
Company property. The desk belongs to the company, not to you. I did you a favor, so you should be thanking me.
A favor? How is throwing away my personal belongings and work documents a favor?
I saved you the trouble of packing up. See how considerate I am?
This is beyond unprofessional. Those items belong to me, and the documents are company property that I need for my projects.
If they were that important, you wouldn't have left them behind for months.
What are you saying? I haven't quit. I'm in the middle of multiple projects.
Projects? What projects? You haven't done any real work in months.
I've been working remotely on the Oceanic Industries project throughout my leave.
Working remotely, that's a convenient excuse for collecting a paycheck while doing nothing.
I have emails, meeting notes, and deliverables to prove it. Henry himself approved my remote work arrangement.
Sure you were. Working while changing diapers. Very productive, I'm sure.
Parenting and professional work aren't mutually exclusive. Many people manage both successfully.
In my experience, divided attention means mediocre results in both areas.
Your experience doesn't reflect reality for millions of working parents, and my work on the Oceanic project speaks for itself. I haven't done anything wrong.
You seriously think you've done nothing wrong? Are you a sociopath?
Using that term incorrectly doesn't strengthen your argument. There's nothing abnormal about using approved leave.
There's something abnormal about thinking you can disappear for months and face no consequences.
Maternity leave isn't disappearing. It's a planned absence with full transparency and coordination.
You take months off and claim you've done nothing wrong? That's some serious cognitive distortion.
Cognitive distortion? I'm just talking about basic workplace standards.
You're talking about taking advantage of policies without considering their impact on operations.
The company implemented these policies precisely because they value retaining employees through major life transitions.
Basic workplace standards include showing up and doing your job, not disappearing for months.
Parental leave is a standard benefit in modern workplaces. Most developed countries offer even more generous policies than ours.
This isn't some European socialist paradise. This is a competitive business where results matter.
Companies that support work-life balance consistently outperform those that don't. It's good business.
You needed punishment for casually taking maternity leave.
There was nothing casual about it. I planned extensively for my absence.
Planning doesn't change the fact that you chose your personal life over your professional responsibilities.
I didn't choose one over the other. I managed both, which is exactly what these policies are designed to support.
I've told everyone to ignore you, so just quit already.
So you admit you ordered everyone to shun me? That's workplace harassment, you know.
It's team building. Those who support the team are included. Those who abandon it aren't. You're the outsider now. Everyone knows it.
Creating arbitrary in-groups and out-groups isn't leadership, it's bullying.
The one who's quitting is you! Huh? Sir! When did you get back? I thought you were away until tomorrow! Mark, what's going on here? Why are you telling an employee they're fired? I wasn't. I mean, I was just explaining company policy to Emily. Company policy includes throwing away employees' desks? Well, that's a special case. I'm listening. Please explain this special case. She abandoned her position for months. According to Section 4.3 of the Employee Handbook, extended unauthorized absence can be grounds for... Her absence was fully authorized. I personally approved her maternity leave and remote work arrangement. She doesn't need a desk if she's not really working here. Last I checked, she is very much really working here. So explain again why you removed her desk. It was creating tension in the department. Other employees were uncomfortable with the special treatment. You don't have that authority, do you? And you didn't consult with me once. I'd like a full explanation of what's happening. I was just trying to maintain department morale and productivity. It's not my fault. It's Emily's fault. How exactly is it Emily's fault? She disrupted our team dynamics by taking extended leave. The team had to redistribute her workload, rearrange schedules. That's what teams do when someone is on approved leave. It's part of normal business operations. She takes months off and then comes back with an attitude. What attitude? Being upset that her desk was thrown away? She expects to just walk back in and have everything waiting for her like some sort of VIP. She expects to be treated like a valued employee who was on approved leave. That seems reasonable to me. She acts entitled to special treatment. Using established company benefits isn't special treatment. It's using what she's entitled to as an employee. But the impact on the team! You were already verbally abusing her on her first day back. Her attitude has nothing to do with this. Well, yes, but... You've created a hostile work environment for an employee who is on approved leave. I was just trying to uphold standards. Standards that apparently include throwing away company property and harassing employees? I wouldn't call it harassment. It was more like team management. From my perspective, you're the one with the attitude problem. How dare you pretend to have the authority to fire someone? I didn't mean fired exactly. I just thought she should leave voluntarily. So you admit you were trying to force her out? Not force, strongly encouraged for the good of the team. It's disruptive having someone come and go. The team needs stability. What's disruptive is having a manager who creates a hostile work environment. Besides, the other employees seem to agree with me. They agree? Did you take a survey or something? Not exactly a survey, but judging by how everyone is treating her. You mean how everyone is ignoring her? Well, ignoring is a strong word, but everyone is certainly showing their disapproval. Are they showing disapproval or following your direct orders? They understand what's best for the company. They're loyal. Loyal to the company or fearful of you. They respect my leadership. They know I have their best interests at heart. That's fine. I've been speaking with them yesterday and today. I conducted an anonymous survey through our company's system asking if they support Emily's use of maternity leave. You did what? Without consulting me? I don't need to consult a middle manager about company-wide surveys. Not everyone has responded yet, but guess how many votes there were against her? I'm sure there were several. At least 60%, I'd think. 0 votes. 0 employees said they don't support her. 0? That can't be! It can and it is! Would you like to see the results yourself? They must be afraid to speak honestly. In an anonymous survey, Mark, you ordered everyone to ignore her, didn't you? I merely suggested that team solidarity was important. That's not what I've heard from multiple employees. What exactly did they say? She's received secret apologies from several employees. I know everything now, so stop making excuses. But she still caused problems. Someone had to pick up her work. We had a plan in place for her absence. Her work was properly redistributed. She used a company policy. What's wrong with that? It's just not how things should work. Women should... Should what? Please, finish that thought. Should prioritize differently. Differently how? Please explain what you mean. Well, traditionally, when women have children, they focus on family. That's the natural order. The natural order? Mark, we're running a business, not a nature documentary. I just mean that mothers are naturally more focused on their children than their careers. It's biology. I doubt you'll ever understand, no matter how many times I explain. By the way, I hear you threw away her desk. Yes, I did. No excuses for that one. I was caught red-handed on that one, but it was just a desk. We have plenty. That's honest, at least. Setting aside the obvious problem with throwing away someone's desk, what happened to the contents of her drawers? I threw those away, too. What if there were important documents in there? Well, she's just a regular employee who's been gone a long time, so there couldn't have been anything important. Just a regular employee? Every employee is important to this company. Of course, I didn't mean... And how would you know what was in her desk? Did you check before throwing everything away? I glanced through it. Nothing seemed critical, just some folders and office supplies. Our company is currently working on a major project with Oceanic Industries. Did you know that? No, I wasn't aware of that. What does that have to do with anything? Emily is leading that project. What? She can't be! The project started with her proposal. She has connections at Oceanic Industries. Why wasn't I informed about this? It was announced at the leadership meeting 4 months ago. The one you said was too boring to attend. Even during her leave, she was working from home to move the project forward. She was? She has connections with such a major company? Why would she keep that from me? She didn't keep it from you. You chose not to pay attention. According to her, the materials for that project were in her desk. She had locked the drawer, but never imagined someone would throw away the entire desk. Oh, that's not good, is it? Could you explain why you thought that would be not good? Well, if there were important documents... Of course it's not good! You disposed of company property without authorization! You've potentially compromised a major business opportunity! How do you plan to take responsibility for this? But I didn't know! How was I supposed to know she was managing a project? by doing your job as a manager and staying informed about your team's projects. So it's okay to throw away someone's desk if they're not managing a project? No, but it's less bad, right? No, it's equally unacceptable regardless of the employee's role or project status. I was just trying to send a message about work ethic and commitment. That's it, you're fired. Get out of this company now. Wait, please. I understand the situation now. I'm sorry. I was ignorant. I didn't know. I truly regret my actions. Please don't fire me. No, you're not sorry at all. You're only sorry because there were consequences. You might think you're a meritocrat, but you're discriminating against female employees who take maternity leave. No! It's not discrimination! It's about commitment to the job! A woman shouldn't talk back to her boss? If that's not discrimination, what is? That was taken out of context. I just meant employees should respect authority. You specifically mentioned her gender. That makes it discriminatory by definition. I misspoke in the heat of the moment. I would have said the same to any employee. Plus, instructing other employees to ignore her, is that how adults behave? I was trying to create team cohesion, but employees need to challenge each other to grow. This might be inappropriate for me as Henry, but work isn't that important to me. What? How can you say that as Henry? My employees matter most. The company exists so employees can improve their lives. But the company exists to make money, to be successful. And we do that through our people. Happy, supported employees create success. But prioritizing personal matters over company needs undermines our ability to compete. That's short-sighted thinking. Companies that support work-life balance consistently outperform those that don't. That's why I approve maternity leave, paternity leave, and support my employees. But why? It hurts productivity. Short-term thinking hurts productivity in the long run. Burnout, turnover, and low morale cost far more than parental leave. But we could just hire replacements who are more committed. A company can't function without its people. Employees come before work. I hope you understand. But I've been here for 5 years. And in those 5 years, you've apparently failed to understand our company culture and values. I've consistently met targets and deadlines.
Mr. Middleton, that's the situation. Do you understand now?
Don't get cocky just because you've got Henry on your side.
Huh? Didn't you just say you regret your actions? I thought you were going to apologize.
Why would I apologize to someone like you? You've ruined everything!
I didn't ruin anything. Your actions did.
You went crying to Henry instead of handling things like a professional!
Reporting harassment is the professional response. I followed proper channels.
Just you wait. I'm excellent at my job. Even if I leave this company someday, I'll show everyone that I was right.
Sure. Maybe that could happen if the story about how you got angry at a woman who took legally protected maternity leave, made everyone ignore her, and threw away important documents for a project with Oceanic Industries doesn't spread through the industry.
Wait, you're planning to spread this story? That would be slander!
I won't spread it deliberately, but you know how these stories tend to get around, especially when multiple employees witnessed your behavior.
You can't prove anything! It would be your word against mine!
Henry witnessed your behavior directly today. Plus, there are the text messages you sent me.
Damn you! How dare a woman be so arrogant?
There it is again. Seriously, you're unbelievable. People like you are what's wrong with society.
You'll regret this! I have connections in this industry!
So do I, including at Oceanic Industries, where I'll be continuing to lead our partnership project.
This isn't over! You'll see! Actually, Mark, it is over. Security is waiting to escort you out. Please clean out your personal items immediately. You can't do this to me! I already have. Your employment is terminated effective immediately. I'll sue for wrongful termination! Feel free to try. We have extensive documentation of your discriminatory behavior and insubordination. This is a mistake you'll both regret. The only mistake was not addressing your behavior sooner. Security is waiting.
Afterward, he couldn't handle the cold stares from other employees and left the company that same day. The very day he threw away someone else's desk, he ended up having to clean out his own. After leaving the company, he tried to find work in the same industry, but word had gotten around about the incident, and no one would hire him. He eventually fled back to his hometown. Since he left, the work environment in our department has improved dramatically, and everyone seems more energetic and engaged. I'm now working full force on the Oceanic Industries project with support from Henry and my colleagues. I always remember what Henry said: employees matter most. I strive to do work that takes people into consideration.